But the good thing, if you do like them, you can put them in office. And that's why today I'm asking you not to throw me out because I'm not in. I'm not part of what's wrong. I'm part of what could be right. I've not been a part of the Washington scene. That's one of the reasons they're going nuts down there right now. They don't know how to figure me out. Of course, they don't know how to figure themselves out, and that's why this country is in a mess. We sent them there to cut spending, and they didn't do it. They spent more money than has ever been spent. And guess where that money's coming from? Your pocket. Just remember this, when government says, but we're giving you things. Remember, before the government can give you something, the government has to take it from you first. And the handling charge is extraordinary. We need to say no to government spending when it's wrecking our grandchildren's futures. $9 trillion worth of debt on your credit card that's going to be transferred to the next several generations. That's irresponsible. And what's their answer? Spend more. Print more, spend more. When I was a governor for 10.5 years, I balanced a budget every single year. I took a $200 million deficit, and before I left office, left the state with an $850 million surplus. That's how it's supposed to work. Not to leave a debt to your children, but leave things in better shape, not worse. How many here were scouts? Let me just see the hand. If you were a Boy Scout or Girl Scout, I'm going to see your hand, okay? Most of us, a lot of us here, had that experience as kids. Whether or not you ever achieved high rank, you probably remember there was a basic thing about scouting. It was the old rule of the campsite, and it was this. You leave your campsite in better shape than you found it. That was the basic rule. You were free to go to the woods. You were free to enjoy the woods. That was part of the deal. That's why they were there. But you were not free to abuse your campsite and the forest. You were not free to abuse the world. You were to take care of it and leave it in better shape. That rule of the campsite ought to be the way that we operate, not just toward our planet, which we should, and take better care of our environment because we're ruining it for future generations, and we ought to take better care of it. But I'll tell you what, we ought to look at Washington and our country as the campsite. And we ought to say that we want to leave it in better shape for the next generation.